Hey friends, imagine this: you're standing at a crossroads. One path is safe, comfortable, and exactly like your life has always been. The other is unknown, a little scary, but the path that could awaken the real warrior inside you. Now the questions are, will you choose the safe path where nothing new ever happens? Or will you take the unknown path that challenges you and reveals your true potential? Did you know fear isn't always the enemy? It can actually guide you. Are you ready to discover why every big change, every breakthrough, and every transformation comes only when you take risks? If you've ever asked yourself, what am I truly capable of? How do I face fear and uncertainty? And how can I step out of my comfort zone to become extraordinary? Then this summary is for you. Here you'll see how taking risks can completely change your life, how small steps lead to massive growth, and why moving forward despite fear is the ultimate key to success. Get ready, because in this video, we're going to show you that risk isn't just danger, it's the gateway to your true power. Chapter 1, the choice between comfort and courage. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path is safe, no risks, no surprises, no growth. The other is unknown, scary, unpredictable, but at its end lies the life you've always dreamed of. Which path would you take? Safe, or the one that awakens your inner warrior? The author starts with a simple truth. Everyone wants greatness, but fear holds us back. Fear keeps us stuck, comfortable, and stagnant. Risk, on the other hand, shakes us awake. It challenges us, asking a single question: do you have the courage to break your current life and create a new one? This book doesn't promise an easy life. It shows that life expands in proportion to your courage. The bigger the risk, the higher the reward. The greater the uncertainty, the deeper the growth. Beyond learning about risk itself, you'll learn to recognize the new version of yourself hiding behind fear, waiting for your first step. In short, the most valuable, life-changing things in life lie beyond fear. Courage isn't something you're born with, it's developed. And risk is not danger, it's the doorway to opportunity. The greatest people didn't get there by luck. They faced the unknown without fear, stepping onto uncertain paths because they knew real learning happens where fear meets opportunity. Key takeaways from Chapter 1. Life rewards courage, not comfort. Fear isn't your enemy, it signals your next growth opportunity. Risk is about trusting your inner strength, not reckless action. Chapter 2. Recognizing fear and taking the first step. The first step toward growth is recognizing your fear. Most people try to ignore it, pretending it doesn't exist. But fear isn't weakness, it's a signal. It points directly to the opportunities that can stretch you the most. The author explains that humans don't fear failure itself, they fear the uncertainty on the path to success. Every goal is uncertain at first. You can't reach the destination without taking that first step. And even a small step has a huge impact. It tells your subconscious, I'm ready for change. It shifts your energy, awakens confidence, and sets your journey in motion. Once you've taken the step, discomfort is inevitable. Old habits, comfort zones, and familiar patterns resist change. But this discomfort isn't a roadblock, it's proof that you're growing. Those who embrace it turn obstacles into opportunities, while those who avoid it remain stuck. Finally, taking risks isn't just about external actions, it's about stepping into your full responsibility for your life. Every choice, every action, every risk you take is a brick in the life you're building. Key takeaways from Chapter 2. Fear is a guide, not a barrier. The first step, however small, sparks transformation. Growth requires embracing discomfort and owning your choices. Chapter 3. Turning challenges into strength. Risk isn't just about big, life-changing decisions, it's woven into the small choices we make every day. Starting a new habit, ending an old one, speaking your truth, or walking an unfamiliar path, all of these are forms of risk. And the greatest risk? Taking full responsibility for your life. The author emphasizes that people who avoid risk become spectators in their own lives. Those who embrace it become creators, shaping their reality instead of reacting to it. Every challenge hides a hidden lesson, every failure contains a teaching, and every uncomfortable moment is an opportunity to grow stronger. This chapter breaks down the journey of risk into 4 stages. Recognize your fear, identify what's holding you back. Fear is not your enemy. It's a doorway to growth. Take the first step. Even small actions send a signal to your subconscious. I'm ready to evolve. Accept discomfort. Growth always comes with challenges. Embracing discomfort transforms obstacles into opportunities. Transform achievement into creation. Success isn't just for you. It inspires others and fuels bigger goals. Ultimately, the author reminds us, Avoiding risk is the biggest danger. Comfort zones feel safe, but they slowly extinguish your inner fire. True greatness lies in stepping out, facing fear, and moving forward despite uncertainty. Key takeaways from Chapter 3. Life rewards creators, not spectators. Every fear, failure, and challenge is a hidden opportunity. Comfort zones limit potential. Growth happens outside them. Chapter 4. Building confidence through small risks. Confidence doesn't appear out of nowhere, it's built step by step. The author explains that before you can take big risks, you must first master the small ones. Talking to a stranger, learning a new skill, facing an old fear, or changing a mindset, these are the training ground for your courage. Just like climbing a mountain begins with small rocks, life's biggest risks require preparation. Each small success strengthens your mind and builds your resilience. Your inner belief grows, and suddenly challenges that once seemed impossible feel manageable. Risk also means embracing uncertainty. Life would be dull if everything were predictable. The unknown is not a threat, it's the source of excitement, growth, and opportunity. Those who learn to befriend uncertainty achieve extraordinary results. The author emphasizes that risk isn't only external, it's internal too. Changing yourself, letting go of old beliefs, confronting your mental blocks, these are often the hardest risks. But these internal leaps unlock your true potential and prepare you for bigger challenges ahead. Key takeaways from Chapter 4. Confidence is built by facing small, manageable risks first. Small victories prepare you for larger challenges. Embracing uncertainty opens the door to growth and opportunity. Chapter 5. Mindset. Imagination and opportunity. Risk isn't just action, it's a mindset. The author explains that the most successful people see opportunities where others see obstacles. They adopt what he calls a possibility mindset, constantly asking, what can I create? What can I achieve? What path will move me forward? Imagination plays a crucial role. When you vividly picture your goals and imagine the life you want, your mind starts working in that direction. Clarity and vision make taking risks easier because you know where you're heading. When your goal is clear, fear loses its power and uncertainty becomes an adventure instead of a threat. Surrounding yourself with the right people also fuels risk-taking. Negative, fearful, or complacent people can hold you back. But courageous, driven, and supportive individuals amplify your energy, push you forward, and inspire bigger leaps. Ultimately, the author emphasizes that risk transforms you. It teaches patience, discipline, and resilience. Every challenge faced, every calculated step into the unknown, strengthens your character and expands your capacity. Risk isn't about avoiding failure, it's about discovering how strong, capable, and creative you really are. Key takeaways from Chapter 5a. Possibility mindset turns obstacles into opportunities. Imagination and clarity make risk-taking manageable and meaningful. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Risk develops patience, discipline, and resilience. Chapter 6. Igniting your inner fire and taking action. Every person has an inner fire, a source of energy, drive, and courage. The author explains that risk awakens this fire, transforming ordinary individuals into extraordinary ones. But fire alone isn't enough. It needs fuel, desire, belief, and consistency. Strong desire sparks the flame, unshakable belief keeps it burning, and consistent action feeds it. Taking immediate action is essential. Overthinking and waiting for the perfect moment leads to stagnation. The author calls this the action rule. Commit to act within 3 seconds of a decision. Small, immediate steps build momentum, reduce fear, and strengthen confidence. Each action propels you forward, even when uncertainty looms. The inner fire also guides you through challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, but a focused, ignited mind treats every setback as a lesson. Fear becomes a signal, not a barrier, and obstacles become stepping stones. Every action, no matter how small, strengthens your courage and shapes your future. Risk, the author reminds us, is not about reckless decisions, it's about clarity, focus, and bold, calculated steps. With your inner fire lit, fear becomes fuel, uncertainty becomes opportunity, and every risk becomes a doorway to growth. Key takeaways from Chapter 6. Inner fire is powered by desire, belief, and consistent action. Immediate action creates momentum and reduces fear. Risk is not danger, it's a path guided by clarity and purpose. Every challenge strengthens courage and fuels growth. Chapter 7. Discipline, patience, and mastery through risk. Risk is rarely a straight path, it's full of twists, setbacks, and unexpected challenges. The author emphasizes that success doesn't come from luck. It comes from discipline and patience. Every calculated risk tests your focus and persistence, and mastering this process is what separates spectators from creators. A disciplined mind keeps you consistent even when results are slow. Patience ensures you don't give up at the first sign of discomfort or failure. Together they turn uncertainty into opportunity and effort into mastery. Those who act impulsively without discipline often falter, while those who patiently embrace the journey turn small wins into extraordinary achievements. The author explains that risk isn't just about external results, it's about realizing your inner potential. Every challenge you face, every fear you overcome, builds your character and expands your capacity. By consistently stepping into discomfort, you not only achieve goals but also develop the resilience to handle even greater risks in the future. Ultimately, discipline and patience make risk predictable and manageable. They transform hesitation into action, doubt into confidence, and fear into fuel for growth. The more you practice, the more natural risk becomes, and the closer you move toward your full potential. Key takeaways from Chapter 7: Discipline and patience turn risk into mastery. Consistency is key. Small efforts compound into big results. Risk reveals and strengthens your inner potential. Fear becomes fuel when paired with focus and persistence. Chapter 8: How Risk Transforms. Your risk doesn't just lead to success, it transforms who you are. The author explains that every step into the unknown reshapes your mindset, strengthens your character, and unlocks hidden potential. Those who avoid risk remain wrapped in their comfort zones, living a predictable life. Those who embrace it evolve into creators of their own destiny. Taking risks teaches you to trust yourself. Each challenge you face builds confidence, sharpens decision-making, and reveals capabilities you never knew existed. You learn that fear is not a wall, it's a doorway, pointing to where your greatest growth lies. The author also highlights the connection between risk and responsibility. Risk forces you to own your life, your choices, and your outcomes. This ownership is empowering. You stop blaming circumstances or waiting for permission, and you start shaping your future with intention. Another critical aspect is that risk multiplies impact. Your actions don't just affect you, they influence those around you. Success becomes contagious, inspiring others, while setbacks teach humility and resilience. Every calculated risk molds you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. Key takeaways from Chapter 8: Risk transforms your mindset. Character and potential. Fear signals the path to growth, not a barrier. Risk strengthens ownership and responsibility for your life. Your actions impact others. Growth is both personal and collective. Chapter 9: Fear, Clarity, and Opportunity. Fear is a constant companion, but it doesn't have to control you. The author explains that fear is a guide pointing toward the areas where growth and opportunity exist. The key is clarity, knowing what you want, why you want it, and where you're going. Clear goals turn fear from a barrier into a signal to take action. The author introduces the concept of the fear reversal technique. Instead of asking, "What could go wrong if I take this risk?" ask, "What happens if I don't?" This shift in perspective reveals the real danger: staying stagnant, avoiding challenges, and missing your chance to grow. Clarity and purpose also make risk less intimidating. When you understand your direction, every step, even in uncertainty, feels deliberate. Fear becomes manageable because your focus isn't on the unknown, it's on the goal ahead. Additionally, surrounding yourself with supportive, driven people strengthens your courage. Negative or fearful influences can paralyze you, while inspiring individuals amplify your confidence and fuel your willingness to take risks. Ultimately, the author reminds us, risk and fear are inseparable. But when paired with clarity and purpose, fear becomes your compass. It guides you to opportunities, helps you make better decisions, and accelerates your journey toward growth. Key takeaways from Chapter 9: Fear signals where growth and opportunity lie. Ask, "What happens if I don't take action?" To overcome hesitation, clarity and purpose turn uncertainty into manageable steps. Supportive people amplify courage. Negativity drains it. Chapter 10: Discipline, Persistence, and Momentum. Taking risks isn't a one-time act, it's a continuous journey. The author emphasizes that discipline and persistence are essential to sustain momentum. Every risk, whether big or small, comes with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Discipline keeps you consistent, while persistence ensures you keep moving forward despite obstacles. Momentum is the hidden power behind success. Small, consistent actions compound over time, building confidence and resilience. Every step you take, no matter how uncertain, adds energy to your journey and makes the next risk easier to take. The more disciplined you are, the more natural it becomes to embrace challenges rather than avoid them. The author also highlights that discipline and persistence develop inner strength. They teach you patience, sharpen your focus, and help you navigate unpredictability. Instead of fearing failure, you learn to view it as feedback, a guide that points to improvement and growth. Finally, risk combined with consistent action transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary outcomes. The paths may be long, uncertain, and uncomfortable, but with discipline, persistence, and momentum, you unlock the doors to opportunities that others never even see. Key takeaways from Chapter 10. Discipline ensures consistency. Persistence keeps you moving forward. Small actions compound into momentum, making bigger risks easier. Challenges and failures are feedback, not barriers. Consistent effort transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary results. Chapter 11. Risk, responsibility, and growth. Risk and responsibility are inseparable. The author explains that avoiding risk often means avoiding responsibility. People who play it safe blame circumstances, wait for permission, or hope someone else will lead. Those who embrace risk take ownership of their lives, their choices, and their outcomes. Taking responsibility is a form of courage. It forces you to confront your fears, acknowledge your weaknesses, and make decisions even when the path is uncertain. This is where true growth happens. Every challenge you accept, every risk you take, expands your capacity and shapes your character. The author emphasizes that risk is not reckless, it's calculated and conscious. It requires awareness, clarity, and deliberate action. By stepping up and taking responsibility, you turn fear into fuel, obstacles into lessons, and uncertainty into opportunity. Ultimately, embracing risk and responsibility transforms you from a spectator into a creator of your life. The more risks you take, the more you learn, the stronger you become, and the greater impact you can have not just on yourself, but on those around you. Key takeaways from Chapter 11. Risk and responsibility go hand in hand. Avoiding one limits growth. Taking responsibility builds courage and shapes character. Calculated risk turns fear into fuel and challenges into opportunities. Embracing responsibility transforms you into a creator of your life. Chapter 12. Overcoming fear and internal barriers. Fear isn't something you can eliminate, it's part of being human. The author explains that the real challenge isn't the external risk, it's the internal barriers we create. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs are often stronger than any outside obstacle. The key is awareness and mindset. Recognize the fears that hold you back, understand them, and don't let them control your actions. Fear is not your enemy, it's a signal showing where your growth lies. When you confront fear directly, it loses its power and becomes a guide toward opportunity. The author also emphasizes that internal risks like changing habits, facing uncomfortable truths, or accepting responsibility are often more important than external risks. By overcoming these, you unlock your potential and prepare yourself for bigger challenges. A supportive environment plays a major role too. Surround yourself with people who challenge, inspire, and believe in your capabilities. Negative influences amplify fear, while positive influences strengthen courage and resolve. Finally, the author reminds us that mindset is everything. A person who trains their mind to see possibility, embrace uncertainty, and take calculated risks will find fear easier to manage and opportunity easier to seize. Key takeaways from Chapter 12. Fear is a signal, not a barrier. Internal risks, habits, beliefs, responsibility are crucial for growth. Awareness and mindset allow fear to guide rather than control you. Positive support systems amplify courage. Negative influences increase hesitation. Chapter 13. Risk, resilience, and identity. Risk does more than open doors, it shapes who you are. The author explains that stepping into the unknown builds resilience, the ability to recover quickly, adapt, and thrive despite challenges. Each risk you take strengthens your mindset, making you capable of handling even greater uncertainties. Resilience comes from experience and reflection. Every setback or failure encountered while taking risks is a lesson. Those lessons sharpen your judgment, increase your confidence, and reveal strengths you didn't know existed. The more risks you take, the more resilient and self-aware you become. The author also highlights that risk molds your identity. When you consistently face challenges and act despite fear, you start seeing yourself differently, not as someone limited by circumstances, but as someone capable of achieving extraordinary things. Your identity shifts from being passive and reactive to being proactive and empowered. Finally, the chapter emphasizes that risk is cumulative. Small, consistent risks compound over time, transforming ordinary habits, decisions, and actions into extraordinary growth and achievement. Your life begins to reflect not your comfort zone, but your courage and willingness to embrace the unknown. Key takeaways from Chapter 13. Risk builds resilience, helping you adapt and thrive. Setbacks and failures are lessons that strengthen character. Consistent risk-taking transforms your identity from passive to empowered. Small, regular risks compound into extraordinary growth. Chapter 14. Risk as a catalyst for creativity and opportunity. Risk isn't just about courage, it's a spark for creativity and innovation. The author explains that stepping into the unknown forces you to think differently, adapt, and find solutions where none seem to exist. Comfort zones stifle creativity, while uncertainty pushes your mind to explore new possibilities. The chapter highlights that every opportunity comes wrapped in risk. Waiting for the perfect conditions or avoiding uncertainty often means missing the moment entirely. Those who embrace calculated risks open themselves to unexpected breakthroughs, fresh ideas, and transformative opportunities. The author also points out that innovation requires action. Creative ideas alone aren't enough. They must be tested, refined, and implemented, often in unpredictable conditions. Taking risks enables this process, turning abstract ideas into tangible results. Finally, risk multiplies impact. The more you dare, the more your actions inspire others, influence outcomes, and create ripple effects. By embracing risk, you don't just grow personally, you contribute to a larger wave of progress and possibility. Key takeaways from Chapter 14. Risk sparks creativity and forces innovative thinking. Every opportunity comes with some level of uncertainty. Action transforms ideas into results. Risk enables this process. Bold decisions have ripple effects, inspiring and impacting others. Chapter 15. Breaking free from your comfort zone. The author emphasizes that the comfort zone is the biggest enemy of growth. It feels safe, familiar, and predictable, but it slowly dims your potential. Staying comfortable may protect you from risk, but it also prevents you from discovering who you could truly become. Risk is the key to breaking free. By stepping into uncertainty, you challenge your limits, face fears, and expand your capabilities. The author reminds us that every great achievement begins when you leave the familiar behind. Comfort may feel sweet, but progress demands courage, discomfort, and deliberate action. The chapter also highlights small daily risks. Trying a new habit, speaking your truth, or making a tough decision all are steps that gradually pull you out of your comfort zone. Over time, these small risks compound, transforming your mindset and preparing you for larger, life-changing opportunities. Finally, the author explains that leaving your comfort zone doesn't eliminate fear, it teaches you to act despite fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward in its presence. And that decision is the doorway to growth, opportunity, and the extraordinary life you've imagined. Key takeaways from Chapter 15. Comfort zones feel safe but limit your growth. Risk is the gateway to discovering your true potential. Small, consistent actions build courage for bigger challenges. Courage is acting despite fear, not the absence of it. Chapter 16. Igniting your inner fire. The author explains that risk alone isn't enough. You need an inner fire to sustain action. This fire is fueled by desire, belief, and persistence. It's the energy that pushes you to take the first step, keep moving forward despite fear, and continue when obstacles appear. Your inner fire grows stronger with every risk you take. Each challenge you face, each fear you confront, adds fuel, building momentum that propels you toward bigger opportunities. Without this fire, courage fades quickly and consistency becomes difficult. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of visualizing your goals. When you clearly imagine the life you want and feel it deeply, your mind naturally aligns with the actions needed to reach it. This clarity strengthens your confidence and reduces hesitation when taking risks. Finally, the author reminds us that the inner fire isn't a fleeting emotion, it's a habit of action and focus. Cultivating it requires daily practice, small steps, repeated efforts, and a mindset that sees fear as a guide, not a barrier. With this fire, every risk becomes an opportunity to grow, learn, and transform into a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Key takeaways from Chapter 16. Inner fire fuels courage, persistence, and action. Each risk you take strengthens your momentum and confidence. Visualization aligns your mind with your goals and purpose. Daily practice sustains your inner fire, making risk-taking habitual and empowering. Chapter 17, Decision, Action, and Fear as an Ally. The author emphasizes that taking action is the ultimate test of courage. Fear will always be present, but progress comes when you act despite fear. Hesitation allows doubt to grow, while decisive action transforms uncertainty into opportunity. Fear isn't the enemy, it's a signal. It shows you where your growth and potential lie. The chapter introduces the idea of using fear as an ally, not a barrier. Instead of avoiding what scares you, lean into it. Every step you take in the face of fear strengthens your confidence and expands your abilities. Decision-making is central to this process. The author explains that overthinking often paralyzes action. Waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. The right time is created through bold, immediate steps. By committing to action, you break the cycle of doubt and gain clarity on what works, what doesn't, and where your true opportunities lie. Finally, the author reminds us that action compounds. One small step leads to the next, creating momentum that carries you through challenges. Fear will remain, but each action taken despite it transforms you from a spectator into a creator of your life. Key takeaways from Chapter 17. Action is the true measure of courage. Fear signals where growth and opportunity exist. Overthinking delays progress. Bold, immediate steps create momentum. Consistent action turns you from a spectator into a creator. Chapter 18. Setbacks, Lessons and Resiliency. The author explains that setbacks are not failures, they are lessons in disguise. Every challenge, obstacle, or mistake is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Those who avoid risk often miss these lessons, limiting their potential. Resilience is built through experience. When you take risks and face setbacks, you learn to recover quickly, stay focused, and persist despite difficulty. Each lesson strengthens your confidence, sharpens your decision-making, and prepares you for even bigger challenges. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of reflection. After every risk, pause to analyze what worked, what didn't, and what can be improved. This reflection turns setbacks into stepping stones and ensures that your growth compounds over time. Finally, the author highlights that resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about moving forward with greater wisdom, energy, and purpose. By embracing risks and learning from setbacks, you transform obstacles into opportunities, fear into courage, and challenges into achievements. Key takeaways from Chapter 18. Setbacks are lessons, not failures. Resilience is built by facing challenges and persisting. Reflection turns mistakes into growth opportunities. Learning from setbacks transforms fear and obstacles into strength and achievement. Chapter 19. Transformation and Freedom through Risk. The final chapter brings everything together. Risk is the bridge between who you are and who you can become. The author emphasizes that taking risks doesn't just lead to success, it transforms your identity, your mindset, and your life. Every calculated risk teaches you more about your strengths, your limits, and your potential. Each step into the unknown stretches your capabilities, deepens your courage, and ignites your inner fire. By embracing risk, you stop being a spectator of life and become its architect. The chapter highlights that true freedom comes from stepping beyond fear. Fear chains most people to safe, predictable lives. But those who dare to take risks break free from limitations, discover hidden opportunities, and unlock extraordinary possibilities. Risk becomes a tool for growth, self-mastery, and ultimate fulfillment. Finally, the author reminds us that the journey doesn't end with one risk. Life is a series of choices, each inviting courage, learning, and transformation. The more risks you embrace, the richer your experiences, the stronger your resilience, and the higher your potential. Key takeaways from Chapter 19. Risk transforms identity, mindset, and life. Each risk reveals hidden strengths and expands capabilities. Courageous action leads to freedom from fear and limitations. Life's ongoing transformation comes from consistently embracing calculated risks. Chapter 20. The Power of Taking the Leap. Final chapter acts as a call to action. Life rewards those who step forward despite fear and uncertainty. The author reminds us that every risk is a doorway to growth, opportunity, freedom, and transformation. By now, it's clear that risk is not chaos or recklessness, it's intentional courage, guided by awareness, preparation, and vision. The person who consistently chooses to act, even in uncertainty, becomes stronger, wiser, and more capable with every step. Chapter 20 emphasizes that the ultimate reward of risk is transformation. Risk reshapes your identity, strengthens your mindset, and ignites your inner fire. It teaches you that fear is not a stop sign, it's a compass pointing toward where your potential lies. The author leaves a final powerful message. Life doesn't wait. Opportunities, growth, and extraordinary experiences are on the other side of your comfort zone. Every step you take into uncertainty builds courage, unlocks your power, and opens doors you didn't know existed. In short, the path to greatness is simple but not easy. See fear. Take action, embrace risk, and transform yourself. The person you can become is waiting on the other side of courage. Key takeaways from Chapter 20. Risk is a doorway to growth, freedom, and transformation. Intentional courage, not recklessness, is the key. Fear is a guide pointing to your potential, not a barrier. Taking action consistently reshapes your identity and your life. Extraordinary life experiences exist beyond your comfort zone.